Vitale here, Vitale Wealth Management, with this week's graded investment market update. All information is gathered as of the week of July 13th, 2026. Let's get into the week in review. Major U.S. indexes finished the week mixed. The NASDAQ was up 1.74, the S&P was up 1.26, but the Dow was down 0.48%. This week, growth stocks outperformed value stocks, with the Russell 1000 Growth Index gaining 2.2%, compared to a 0.02% decline from the Russell 1000 Value Index. We've seen value be very strong this year. Treasury yields continue to move higher, with the 10-year Treasury finishing up the week at 4.56%, up from 4.37 a few weeks ago. This pushed bond prices down 0.44% for the week. We were hoping we were going to see interest rates go down this year, but in fact, they've actually been going up, which is not good for bonds at all. Upcoming economic releases. It's a busy week for the economic calendar, with several key reports expected to provide insights into inflation, consumer spending, and consumer confidence. Today, as a matter of fact, the 14th Consumer Price Index will be released, which it was this morning. Gave us insights into the path of inflation, and we'll talk about it more next week. But I will tell you, it was a positive report. Inflation is cooling, is what we found. Tomorrow is going to bring the Producer Price Index, which measures wholesale level. On Thursday, July 16th, the retail sales data offers information on consumer spending. The week concludes on Friday with the Consumer Sentiment Index, which will provide a snapshot of how U.S. consumers currently view the economy. Also, we're seeing a lot of the earnings season start right now. We're seeing the banks are reporting right now. Goldman Sachs had a huge win. We'll talk about that next week as well. This week's economic calendar is fully packed, with starts the new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh testifying before the House and Senate panels on Tuesday and Wednesday. Investors will also be focused on the latest inflation data, the CPI, which is today, which actually was great numbers, followed by the PPI, which is tomorrow, which we just talked about. And that, of course, measures the wholesale level. Together, these reports are going to offer insight into the inflation trajectory, especially for wondering if interest rates are going to come down. You know, they were talking about, interest rates are going to go up this year. He's going to have to raise rates. Well, now that's off the table, which is good. Hopefully, we're going to start to see rates come down a little bit. If we keep seeing inflation cool, hopefully we'll see a rate cut this year. It'd be great. Second quarter earnings season also got underway. Kicked off today. We talked about Goldman Sachs. We're going to see a lot more of what that's going to look like this year. This week, we're actually anticipating some very positive results on everything. So we'll see how that goes. The technology sector is currently expected to deliver 34% year-over-year revenue growth and 63% year-over-year earnings growth for the second quarter. Very, very hot. So even though we're seeing a little bit of pullback here and there, we're still seeing things with Iran. We're still seeing some very positive responses in the market, results in the market, because earnings are still very strong. Spending is very strong. Let's talk about some recent activity. The contrarian choice, we did do some rebalancing last week. As you know, every quarter we have to rebalance if we need to, and that's what happened. And then we've got some other stocks in the news. In the G50, Lyondell Basel Industries was up 6.38% for the week. The chemical company announced a new flexible packaging solution for Mandelas, using materials that are made from 100% recycled components. Also, EQIX, which is Equinox, owned in the Core Select, was up 5.24% for the week. The data center company continues to benefit from strong hyperscale and enterprise AI demand. Company also recently expanded its partnership with NVIDIA and Cisco to provide access to its data center infrastructure. And I was hearing some of that on Fox Business News, actually. So it's good to know that we also have that in our portfolio, because I knew that they were a really good benefactor from that. As far as any other changes in the gradient portfolios, there were no other changes last week other than that. Also, some more stocks in the news. We have MHO, which is it's MI Homes. It's owned in the contrarian choice, and the G50 shares of the home builder gained 5.52% last week, after analysts continued to raise earnings estimates, reflecting improving near-term business trends and optimism surrounding the company outlook. There's also NBIS, which is Nebius Group, which is owned in the SMID, the small and mid-cap portfolio, was up 10.24% for the week, after technology company announced a $2 billion agreement with NVIDIA to support data center expansion. along with a partnership with Uber to accelerate deployment of robotaxis. So you see a lot of companies that are tied with NVIDIA, that work with NVIDIA. And even though one company is like, well, what does that have to do with it? It could be a benefactor from another company. And that's great that we own them in these portfolios. That's it for this week's market update. Thank you so much for being part of the Vitale Wealth family. If you need to get a hold of us, you know the number, 855-756-5700. Visit us at vitalewealth.com. And if you happen to have a chance and you call our office, wish Anna Vitale a happy birthday. Her birthday's today, July 14th. And that is all. God bless you. We'll see you again.